back to you guys there. All right, okay. I already explained to you guys, okay. Where if you actually follow exactly what I say, follow all the amendments, okay, give all the attentions on the exercise, okay. Uh, Regarding to our lessons, right? Well, at least you will get past there, okay? But to get past is basically you have to answer all the questions there. All right, I'm recording the sessions, and hopefully these sessions will remind you back again, okay? What basically that we need to get past for these subjects there. First of all right, answer all the questions there. All right, answer all the questions there, right? Okay, remember that. Okay, first of all, remember to answer all the questions there. All right, so basically, all right, what are you guys doing there right now? Or having a group assignment to it, or play games together? Huh? Play games together, or
Oh,
working
Wi-Fi
assignments
not
there.
strong enough.
All right. Okay, now, all right, answer the questions, okay, in the right way. All right, how to answer the right way? Is a very simple that I ask, right? Okay? You develop the right kind of skills, all right? Sketch line, gestures line in the right way. Those are the things that you should worry there, okay? To sketch in the right way there, right? Okay? We're not actually focusing on the perfect drawings, but we want to make sure that people or you guys will understand how to develop the right kind of way to sketch your ideas. Because we have, not only I, okay, we as a team of the lecturers, okay, in the faculties, we have the same kind of issues in the futures there, okay. We don't want you guys have this kind of what we call that issues or problems, okay, that when it comes to develop your idea, you want to present your ideas later on, okay, you won't be able to have the right kind of understanding to present your ideas here. That's why I always emphasize on the presentation your ideas, right? The presenting your ideas in the right way. Okay, take serious on that. And if you guys want to worry about what are the things that we want to complete, how actually we're going to complete for the rest of the whole assignments, is the way that you're handling the tools. Okay, I already showed you guys a lot before how to develop those kind of understanding. It's up to you guys to develop those kind of skills from now on. Okay, especially for those who have a quite kind of misunderstanding or need to develop more on your skills. All right, like Amir Johari, Junlong. All right, if I'm not mistaken, is that there's a few kind of students also have this kind, right? Gilson, right? They also have. I always use Gilson as a part of my samples there, not to offend him, but just to give everyone actually the sample or what kind of what we call that improvement that you guys can do from there, because I know, right, everyone who have this kind of situations, challenges, right, moment there, right, to develop their skills, they have the same problems there. Lack of what we call that practice, and you're not developing your understanding well there, okay? You don't spend more times to think when you draw. Remember, okay, to think when you draw the right. Okay? So for today, okay, if you want to go through, okay, again, one thing, okay, I actually have noticed before, because last week when I go through with one of the works from your friends, all right, this person basically, right, okay, did not complete most of the exercise. Remember, guys, exercise there, okay? As I told you guys before, all right, if you don't answer the questions in the right way, that means you don't complete all the exercise in the right way. Okay, when I ask you guys to draw 10 drawing a week, if you just draw one and you don't actually doing in the right way, those are the Those are the reason why you actually will get the very lowest marks. Don't let me came to you and ask you to redo, or maybe I will ask direct for you to make good on your works, okay? Because when the last minutes, because hey, do you guys have any exam this week? This semester, week 15? Do you guys have to attend any exam?
I think English essay.
Any subject that related to those exam oriented? All right, only one paper is there, right? One or two papers there that you guys will have. Okay, let's just say you have only one paper there, okay? Or maybe two, right? It's not that quite critical there. This is the situation that I don't like to attempt there, right? Okay? Please don't let your actions will lead into make good kind of situations there. You have to make good back again your works, okay? Because they are going to be quite number kind of situations that we have, okay? Because one of the situations that I have from your seniors before, if you guys will make good on the last minute sessions there, okay? One of the things that I always do, you have to do two different kind of submissions there, okay? First of all, you have to do more, at least 20 different drawings there, all right, to make good, right? To make sure that you guys can actually improve on the skills there. If I don't actually satisfied with it, all the make good are going to be not that quite useful there, okay? There are going to be a lot of waste of time from there. Don't waste your time last minute there, right? Okay? Remember that, guys? All right? I mean, you are with it, okay? Listen to that, right? Okay? Focus on that. Right, the other thing is, if I actually have a different kind of mood, all right? Mood swing there, okay? I won't actually evaluate your works unless you're going to submit all your make good works in my Facebook wall. All right, everyone, right, okay, will actually look into your works there. All right, those are not actually taught you, but basically, if my mood swing are not going to be stable there, right, okay, that means I'm going to feel a little bit kind of wacky a little bit, right, okay. I will ask you, right, okay, those persons who make good will post every 20 drawings in my Facebook wall. One of the things that will happen like that, because I want to show the management there, okay, because our management also in the Facebook there, right? Our dean, all right, our associate dean, basically in my Facebook there, wall of friends there, okay. So that means, all right, we don't want to have this kind of situation, right? Because most of the management will know who actually you are, okay. You become a popular right, instantly there, right? Okay? If you guys want to become popular, all right? Because this semesters we have our online video presentation. Is that right? So I will ask you guys to post those video presentations on my Facebook wall. Right? If you don't want to make yourself popular, right, in the social media, right, okay, in my own terms, please don't delay your exercise and do it as what we have been been planned, okay, to you guys, okay. So remember that, okay. It's not that hard to pass, but you have to follow exactly what I say. You have to use your brain to think when you draw. That's all, right? Don't just simply draw the right, okay, without thinking how you're going to develop your executions. All right, your kind of learning experience there. Remember that. All right. I'm not asking you guys to draw a very super realistic kind of portrait yet. Next semesters, all right, if the fate are going to be, if our destiny are going to be, what we call that, will be what we call that combined, okay, meet each other is there, right? we are going to experience digital illustrations that based on Photoshop kind of what we call that styles of working, but we are going to do a bit more kind of details that kind of works there, right? Okay. Why all this policeman is telling in, right? Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So remember that, guys. All right. Make a very good kind of plan on your works, right? To make sure that you guys will have more kind of times to develop your skills there, right? Okay. Multimedia student for you guys, right? There will be a quite privilege for me to focus a bit more on your work this semester there, because normally I can't there, right? Okay? Because even though we can have the face-to-face sessions in a normal kind of phase, but the problem is sometimes I'm not going to be focused a lot on these kind of developments there. Normally, right? I give those assignments, I give those demonstrations, whatever you guys doing now, okay, I'm going to take those marks and I just want to let it flow there, okay? But the only person who actually fails, they not complete all the exercise and the assignments there. Normally there, right? Okay? You can ask some of your friends here, like Jin Yun is not mistaken, right? Okay? She has the base experience there. If you not complete the works, all right, we won't be able to educate your marks there. Okay. All right. Even though 1 week you actually fail to complete those works, 1 week there. Okay. 1 week, I think around 10 rounds there. Okay. You won't be able to get a very good kind of marks. I remember that. Okay. And to get past, it's not because of your skill only, or if you want to get B or B plus there. Okay. It's all about your commitments. Everything is all about commitment there. You show more on your developments, your commitments, your interest in your works, right? Is there is a possibility you can get B or B plus, okay? No matter how good or bad your skills are, because illustration is all about how well you understand, develop your skills. All right. So any questions there? Any questions? I have some sort of situations that I have made before. I think around 80% of the batch, okay, or of the whole batch get A. But that kind of situations is rarely happens, right? It's rarely happens, right? Okay, but I have one semester, right? Okay, there's a one batch basically I actually have given 75 to 80%, right? Okay, get A. But for me, it's not all about those marks there, right? It's not all about the grades there. It's all about how well basically you understand to develop your own skills there. There's no point you get an A, but you still cannot draw well. Okay, those are the things there, right? All right, guys. Okay, let's move on. Any questions so far? Remember, don't delay your works there, okay? Don't delay your works, okay, in order to develop your kind of understanding. All right. So please read back again this assignment brief. I'm going to give you guys also shortly, okay, after this, okay, maybe tomorrow, our last final assignment brief there, okay, because I already have complete, but I want you guys to work one phase at a time there, okay? But remember, okay, when we design the elements for our characters there, okay, it's all about the synchronizations there, okay? Because this kind of experience that I want to give you guys, it's all about how actually you're going to develop your kind of understanding later on when it comes to develop for your animation subjects, right? Okay? Or concept design subjects there. All right. All right. So about environment or crop design, why we actually have to go through. Okay, you guys can see my screen there. Okay, go through with this kind of lessons or this kind of experience. Okay, when it comes to illustrations or character design, all right, okay, that you actually going to do, you have been developed. Okay, there's a few stage of production works. that are going to relate it with these two different kind of discipline there, or styles of working there, okay? Because when we design the characters, we not actually just design the characters without any purpose there. One of the purpose that we want to design the character because of the animations, games, or movie, or even though a children's book or comic is kind of production works, right? They emphasize interest in this entertainment kind of developments projects there, okay? Entertainment development project, okay? That emphasize into comics, they're going to go into comics, or children's books, illustrations, animations, games, or movie there, okay? They're related to this kind of what we call that product or entertainment kind of projects there, right? Okay. So when it comes to environments or prop design, okay, if you don't have any ideas, okay, right now, okay, if you take a look at most of the references that we have online, you can get a lot of ideas how to design the place for your characters there. When you design the characters there, basically, you have to think about where the characters will came from there, okay? How actually the characters are going to live in their own worlds there. We have to create the character's world there, basically, there, okay? So all these kind of questions that you have in mind that you actually have been go through, okay, everyone I know will read comics before. We watch animations there, okay? So all those kind of visual that you saw from those animations to those movies there, they related to this core kind of development process. So you guys will be trained right now to develop this such a process that will involve with various type of projects later on. This is one of the basics kind of learning experience there. And of course, when it comes to develop those ideas, I actually personally also use all these kind of resources when I want to develop my own kind of ideas there. So that's why having enough reference is quite important there. But of course, when it comes to develop the reference, when we want to develop this reference thing, what are the most important things when we want to start to design our ideas there? It's all about how to develop from the structures itself, like, okay. Okay, remember that, okay? So let's just say you have this kind of characters there, for example, like, okay, let's just say this is my character. Okay, so I'm showing you guys back again how actually I developed one of the simplest characters based on the basic shapes. Right, basic shapes here, right? Okay, I'm designing a girl there, right? The little girls there, right? That based from, right? Based on the basic shapes here, right? Okay, so I want to be design this. These girls basically will be a little bit more like a gothic kind of looks there. So she has a black cat there, right? And also she has a, I think we should go, we actually move on into more kind of advanced kind of ideas a bit, but I'm still using a very simple kind of idea development, right? What is this? I'm using shapes there, right? What is this there? It's a crow. Crow, a girl, and a cat, right? A black cat, right? See how actually I develop a very simple kind of shapes, but have a more kind of honest, appealing kind of characters there. So at this stage, they're basically right. When you ask me, okay, how actually we're going to improve our ideas there, right? What basically I'm actually showing guys right now is how actually I developed one of the characters based on a very simple kind of constructive line there. Okay, constructive line there. She has a knife. I don't have any ideas on there. I don't have any kind of plan on this one, okay? But I have developed these characters before, but I didn't actually continue them because of I'm too busy to do something else there, okay? So today I just want to redevelop them back, right? Okay? Because suddenly this girl basically uh, have pop up into my mind there, right? Okay? Okay, she's wearing a legging, right? So my ideas is basically from Tim Burton kind of idea, what we call that kind of styles there, right? Okay? Tim Burton, you know Tim Burton, right? The guy who create those Nightmare Before Christmas. But now basically, and also the guy who actually create Sweeney Todd, right? Okay, and most of the gothic kind of movies there, right? Have you seen those kind of movie before? You know that? Hey guys? Yeah. Right, clean up the line there, right? I try to clean up the line there. So we're talking about how to develop and clean up those line back again. Okay? Even though I have that kind of influence from that person kind of style there, but am I actually going to trace or draw from his characters? No, right? So what I'm going to do here, because of this girl basically is quite gothic, like I'm going to design a little bit more, but the look of her is not quite normal there, right? Okay? Yeah, quite lazy kind of eyes. She's wearing a very turtleneck, right? Like a dress came with belt there, right? So all this kind of understanding ideas there that I actually try to develop. Okay? She's wearing the what we call that? This one, the bangle. See, the hands, the finger, basically. All right. I try to develop it more simple there, right? But I will show you guys hopefully today, right? How actually I will develop more from here, there, right? And of course, if anyone wants to ask me questions, right, why actually didn't actually come up with any kind of reference first, right, when I want to draw that. Because I already show you guys how to develop this reference there. So right now, some people say, okay, I work with my imagination, right? And now basically I work with my imaginations. start to develop, okay, those characters based from my imaginations. But as I told you, when I explained just now, there, right, I get these ideas not from, it's actually from Tim Burton's kind of ideas. If I want to compile all the my kind of reference, okay, I can go through with it. All right. Uh, Tim Burton. Okay, right. Pascal. Okay. So what I can do from here, I can compile the whole thing like this and put it right here. Okay, this is one of my research. But if you take a look, right, I didn't actually draw and copy from those there. Okay? But I get the influence from there. Okay, what else there? Right, one of the works there again, like Scary Girl. This is from Dickens. Scary Girl, Nevin. Okay, this is my friend, right? Okay? This is my online artist friend, right? Okay? I taking all the ideas from this kind of what we call the characters there. Yeah, all right. The Scary Girls and also in the right? Can you see that? Right? So from there, I develop also my own kind of way of working. How about how I design the crow and the cat there, right? Simple. First of all, black crow. I will get as much as information first before I'm going to call it. Because if you have this kind of proof, people won't ask you any questions anymore if you actually develop it the right way. Black crow kind of character design there, just to give it more kind of understanding there. So even though, Raki, I have this kind of reference with me, but I did not actually have a lot of attention to copy or trace from this design. But what basically I've done there, Raki, I'm using it as a part of my guideline of reference there. All right? Because I'm working also based on my experience there. So if you take a look how actually I develop those kind of understanding is basically based from my experience, okay, for so many years there towards. So I will go through more and more because I have to make sure that my design have more synchronizations with the things that I want to develop there. So for me right now, even though I have those reference, I have drawn a lot of design before, but I'm still using, all right, these kind of shapes, right? Idea development is like drawing the shapes there, break down the shapes as a part of my learning curve experience there. It develops those ideas there, right? Shapes like this, shapes there, right? There, right. So break down from the these characters there, right? Okay, from where? From circles. The eyes also came from circles there, right? The nose came from this kind of shapes. Just like you working with the what we call that before, a paper cut kind of designer, right? Remember paper cut there, okay? I don't know, maybe girls, okay, they have actually designed all these kind of shapes before. They play with this kind of paper cut kind of doll before, right? My time we have that, right? All these kind of shapes that break down a bit. Understand what basically you've been going through, okay? The leg itself, okay? Break down there. Not a breakdown on it there, right? Not that song there, okay? But break down all the shape itself there, right? Okay? Right. This legs is similar to what? Like a candy bar or cane there, right? See? The legs itself. I get ideas also from there. So this is from skull there, right? So all these kind of idea developments, understanding, they has to come with this kind of breakdown there, okay? How about the cat? It's more like rectangles, right? And also more like shapes of the cube there, right? Okay? Yeah, nice. But when it comes to start profiles, for example, start profile there, right? Okay? How I actually develop them. So if you have good understanding, good. If you don't have, don't just follow, break down into your own kind of understanding. Okay? From three-quarter view, for example, that three-quarter view there, right? Okay. It can be, right? But there's more from here we should do there, right? Okay? When we design a character there. This is only a part of the earliest process that we have to go through, right? There will be a lot and a lot and a lot of process that we have to go through. This is going to be maybe her eyebrows there. So when I actually have developed those characters there, right, I still can develop a bit more kind of understanding and refine back again my ideas from here. It's not only what we have finished when we design it. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's why I said we always will go into more development process. To learn about designing characters is not that one kind of assignments can be apply all this kind of understanding there. There will be a continuing kind of process. Right? So how many shapes of the nose, how many what we call that line or nose shapes there. All right, the nose shapes look like a bit more like this. See, right? If you actually write rotate, it become like this. Huh? Right, the nose shapes there. All right, okay. So I can actually redevelop a bit more directly from there. All right, the nose shapes there. Okay, how many what we call that bevels or patterns they have here. One, two, three, right? I design them that the normal nose will become like this one, right? This is a normal nose there for human being, right? Anyone have difficulty to draw nose? You draw the nose like this, but think back again, right? Okay. All right, from here, right? What we can do there, right? I haven't finished the practice yet. Later on, I'm going to draw, what is it? Uh, you have to count, okay, how many spikes they have in their head there, right? In the hairline there. So those are the things also is very, very important there. So this is a line of actions of the girls, body there, right? Yeah. Oops. I actually design those posts correctly, I'm still try to give a bit more kind of felt that when I want to design some things, it has to be look alive directly. It has to be look alive there, rather than just drawing some of the characters like a puppet directly. Doesn't have any kind of right kind of pose from there. And this is only a sketches there, guys. Before you want to finish up and clean up the line there. Right? For me, think a very simple kind of shapes, and then you develop them into the characters there. Other than you just simply want to design a very complex kind of look and feel of those characters there, and then you cannot actually handle that. That's why learning the shape, the structures that define your characters is really, really important. I think when it comes to words. Okay, how about the trees there? Okay, they're actually going to remove these characters there. Where basically she lives, okay, all those kind of things you need to have in your mind. You have to question yourself back again, okay? I bet right now you already have your own characters there, right? So what actually you need to do right now, okay, you have to think where the characters are going to be lived, okay? What kind of environments there, world that your characters are going to be lived into, put into there, okay? So you have to write notes a little bit from there. My kind of understanding on this design on these characters there, maybe this girl live in the like big or huge kind of mansions, maybe nearby their what grave yard, maybe. All right, what else there? Uh, the environments, okay, there's a lot of dead tree, right? So what else you can actually think of, okay? Write down all this kind of concept that you have in mind based on your characters. What else that we can do from here? Um, maybe on the hill. All right. So whatever that you have in mind, think back again, then start to sketch. One of the way that I'm going to do all this kind of information that I have, I will go into. Right. I'm going to find haunted house pictures. I don't want to use cartoon there, right? So I'm going to find some of the image. This is one of the image manipulations, right? So I will find some of the reference here that can lead me to those design there. See how many references that I have in a short times, right? To back up, basically, to defend basically my works, right? So if I have those kind of reference, what I can do here, using a basic shape, right? So I'm just start to sketch the houses there, right? Using the basic shapes. Right? Using basic shapes. There. So all these kind of idea developments will not come easily directly if you don't practice a lot. For me, this is only a rough ideas that I have. Try to work with it. Then I'm going to break down a bit. All right, there. I'm going to, maybe I'm going to draw the kind of what we call it, ideas on this. Call that houses, right, to become a little bit more stylized there. Right, more stylized. So whatever that I have in mind is not based only from my imaginations, but came from the experience that I have. Experience by looking at someone's kind of works, right, movies, okay, whatever that we have in mind before that, right? This is only a rough kind of sketches there. Maybe there's a graveyard right here, right? The graveyard there, right? Okay, he's living in the hills. They're going to be see how actually I controlling, okay, my kind of ideas there by designing first. Okay, this is all about designing those, what we call that, those ideas there, right? It's all about how develop and how actually we design those ideas there. But the way that we sketch our ideas there, right, is really, really important. See how actually I develop those ideas from here. And right. So this is only a rough kind of what we call that sketch that we can actually go through with. If you're going to go into more and more details, go ahead. Okay, I already show you guys basically how to clean up the line efforts. I want to see the line are going to be developed really well there. Okay. And at this stage, hopefully you guys also have been aware about how to comparing between the way of drawing it and mine there. So if you take a look closely right now, okay, you can actually compare whether how you execute your ideas and mine were going to be in line or not. What is this? This is basically patterns for those roofs there. You won't be able to understand how it works if you don't look at other people's works, okay? And how they sketch their ideas there. I'm giving you guys a very simple kind of sketch here right now. You look at it. Yeah. One of the ideas that I can go from there, if I want to share a bit there, right? Because I've done this kind of exercise before. That's why I say, okay, this is a part of those, all of those development groups. If you take a look at this one, this is some of my sketches, a very simple sketch based on Malacca, right, okay, Church of Malacca, right, okay, that I actually developed back again into different kind of ideas and design there, okay. If you take a look there, different kind of look and feels there. All right, same goes to the, this is the samples there, all right. The sample of how actually I develop the character, the element for the environments and the prompts that based on the same concept as the Tim Burton ideas there, okay, to develop on my own. let's just say I get KLCC there. Okay, this is the idea that I actually developed from KLCC there. See, this is KLCC. This is my interpretations of KLCC, right? By using the different kind of imaginations. I think I imagine KLCC become a bit more like a combinations, monster and robot kind of function, kind of all that buildings there, right? So how actually I get these ideas is all based on my experience, my resources that I have, okay, previously, okay, from all these kind of lessons that I've done before. What else there? I think I already done one of the exercise here. I don't know where basically I put on one of my demos there. I don't know, guys, okay, where basically I put it. So do you have any questions there so far?
No question.
Basically, okay, for if you ask me, okay, if you may have this kind of inquiries, okay, in your mind, whether we're going to work with this kind of painting styles or not, we don't. We don't yet. Because I really want you guys to focus on your how actually you develop the ideas, how actually you're going to construct your constructive line by using your sketch line and gestures line in the right way. Right? If you take a look at how actually I sketched this idea there, right? We came from these two combination kind of techniques. Gestures line and actual line kind of technique. What we call that gestures line and also sketch line kind of technique. Okay. Now, I'm going to clean up this kind of line. See the way I move my hands there to work with those lines. From here, we can do a lot of things here. Okay, try to get very clean kind of line. Right, clean kind of line. If I want to make this roof become a little bit more like this, also can, right? Use the shapes only there. Okay. Patterns there. What is this basically? A window. Using shapes, right? So if you know how to manipulate the shapes, your design will become more effective. So remember, right, everything came from the line and shapes. Those are one of the element, the strong, powerful of element of design. I want the students, okay, get the right kind of benefits to work with their ideas from the sketch kind of understanding that. Okay, how actually I'm rendering them up here, because this is a dark kind of areas there, right? I don't want to show the inside there. I want to make a bit more like a porch directly of this house, you can do it as well. Okay. Okay, about perspective, okay. I did told you guys before, I didn't actually learn perspective formally. But what basically I've done for my works, I actually improvise and manipulate all those kind of understanding into a bit more free form kind of styles there. How we learn from that? Take a look back again on your kind of reference that you can get from any other resources there, and use it. And when you draw thing using a simple kind of shapes that can define basically the right kind of understanding to develop your kind of structures to make it those drawings look believable there, I think, even though the perspective is not right here. Look believable and also presenting in the right way, presenting the right way. Yeah. If you take a look there right now, I'm not actually draw from a perspective kind of details there. And just make it more improvised. Not improvise the whole thing. Okay. Break into shapes. Show your kind of understanding by break everything into shapes, and by the same time try to make a very loose kind of line but still show the confidence, okay, on your presentations. Right. I would say it's not that easy, but you have to practice your own kind of craft, right, based on here. So the tree itself, see how I actually draw a tree. Yeah? Based on the Tibetan kind of design, right? But I'm using my own kind of interpretation. A dead tree there, right? So the tree itself, I get from the finger kind of shapes there. The fingers kind of shapes. Cut face. You see how actually I develop a very clean line from based on the sketches there. This is the thing that I want to see from your works, each one of you guys. You want to put some colors, go ahead. Right, it's your choice. But the things that I want to see, how well you develop your understanding, to develop your environments, your props, your elements, which I actually have shown you guys before. Okay, let me say you want to design basically what we call that rocks there, right? Okay, some people draw the rocks there, but takes a lot of time there, right? Okay, to draw simple kind of rocks. right? The grass. See? So practice your hands when you draw things, okay? When you draw and develop things. 10 props. There could be a different kind of house styles that you want to draw. There will be a different kind of tree elements there. All right. Some people will draw the tree, right? They actually get caught with one of the styles there, right? Draw only the styles, for example, but they don't know what basically the tree is. Okay? Some people want to draw this kind of tree there, using a very simplified kind of style there, right? But this is only my sketches there. What we have been going through before, when I see a lot of students sketch, they become a bit more like a naive drawing there. So if you take a look at this kind of stuff there, 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds cannot draw like this. Only designers can draw like this. So this is what I want you guys to develop from here. Okay, guys? How to develop your ideas there, to break down into shapes, to break down into different kind of forms there, okay? Okay, when it comes to develop your craft there, okay, for your design, for your practice there, for example, you will bit more kind of revision through there. All right? All right, guys, any questions?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Any kind of inquiries? Any kind of inquiries regarding to our assignments here?
So
Yes.
for the storyboard, right? How I mean, it's like, how long the story should be?
All right. You need to complete at least around 12 page. 12 page of the flows of the stories there. Okay, the stories have to be complete at least 12 page there. Okay.
Then
So I'm
about
going
the
to. Huh?
about the
Sorry?
character, we can choose anyone, is it? Because
Yes.
okay,
You can choose anyone there, okay, from that designer. Okay. Or you
okay,
want to
thank
add
you.
another characters, go ahead. Okay. But my kind of what we call that kind of concerns, you have to design the same characters but 7 different design actors, right? Right? Those are the things there. So from there, if you think that those design will work for you, okay, you can choose one of them and you can redevelop one of the sub characters that actually going to be included in your 12 pages of stories. Okay, 12 pages of stories there. Okay, they will include from there. Next week, I'm going to work with the coloring techniques, okay? I will show you guys how the coloring technique is going to look like, okay? So there's a lot of way to work with those design there. Okay, but for some of you guys might going to have a bit kind of shock, like, because I will show you guys, okay, one of the very simple kind of ideas how to emphasize on your characters based on a very simple kind of way they're using those coloring there, okay? These are the things that, okay, you can do. Okay, for examples there, right?
Teacher,
Yes.
our difference of homework week 9 and week 10 is what?
Can you check back again the folders? Week 9 and week 10, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you check the folders back again? What are the things that we have been going through? Okay, if you were to talk about coloring or designing the characters, right? This is only some ideas there. If you want to design the characters, as a illustrators or illustrations kind of point of view, okay? Take a look at this designer, okay? The difference is how actually I am executing these ideas there. If I want to design the characters based on these three different shapes, so what I can do right now, right? What else there? Okay, balance them out there, right? Remember, right, okay, this is not a shortcut, okay, but this is one of the methods that I can apply for my design. That I can apply for my design. Looks that easy, the right words, but all the balance that I actually put into those designs will be part of those challenge for you guys to work together. Talk about illustrations, talk about character designs. This one can become a design, okay? What is it? I don't know that, right? Okay, but they can have a very a simplest kind of way to approach those characters, but one of the things that you have to look into this kind of designs is the appealing there, the acceptance on those ideas and design there, okay? Those are the things that really important. What are appealing, okay? The way that are shaping the thigh, line of the hands, legs, even though we can actually, I can improve a lot from here. But when they talk about coloring technique and styles, this is a part of the styles of designing the characters in the most simplest way. Alright, but they combine the line, shapes, textures, colors, form, values, and tone. Alright, if I want to add some shadings and shadows, for examples, yeah, straight up. Shadings there. Straight up. I hit it wrong way there, okay? On that layers there. Too late there, okay, to make mistakes. So I have to paint basically on the different layers there. You see? Textures, shadows and shades, form, light that actually emphasize on these directions that works. Okay? So designing characters, if you look into illustrations kind of point of view, it's not that hard. But you need to have enough skill, knowledge, understanding how to balance all these elements, key elements, together when you want to design your own way that it works. But the problem is that you face normally, right? Okay? Our mind, your mind especially, right? Okay, is not ready enough to develop the out from the box kind of thinking there. That's why we have to go through with the exercise a lot. All right, the exercise a lot. So this week's, I would say, is quite challenging for you because you're going to mingling around, searching around with the informations, with the ideas, what kind of houses, what kind of buildings, what kind of thing that you want to design that related to your ideas, that for your characters can work there, okay? Okay, one more thing. Don't use erasers or don't use rulers to design your buildings. Try to use a very clean kind of strokes when it comes to develop your kind of environment. When I draw these buildings there, am I use any kind of straight kind of line using shift there to work on that? No, they aren't. I'm using my kind of hands to develop the movements of the stroke there. You have to develop this kind of confidence there. We now say, can you explain what we have to do? So I can't understand properly, so can you help me? All right, for the last exercise that we have to do last week, there, right? You just have to draw. We just have to draw based on the photos. We draw back again those environments using the sketch line techniques. That's all. Okay, sketch line techniques.
Sir,
Wait up, Arina. All right. Okay, this one there, right? If you take a look at this kind of styles of buildings there, okay, from your friends kind of works, okay, your kind of okay, this kind of compositions, I think it's quite okay, okay, for your styles of working there, okay, but the problem is with this kind of, what is this there, right? I don't know what it is, okay, this is basically a road there, right, okay, there's a fence over here. Try not to design using the shapes like bricks there, right, okay, using a very more sketchy, more free form kind of way of working with a sketch line there, right, okay, to work with it. For examples, if I want to design this kind of elements there, okay, all right. I would actually write apply. I don't know where you get these ideas from there, okay, but if I were you, right, you try to get some references, right, when you want to design them, okay, either when to design the what we call the fence look like this one, or the fans are going to be look like this. All right, try to sketch it out with your ideas there. Right, this is not a sketch, this is maybe almost a finishing kind of work there. I don't see any sketches right there. This one, if you say this character is sitting down, it doesn't look like he's sitting down there, right? Okay? To draw people or characters from back is not that easy there, okay? If you don't understand how the shapes look like. So do a little bit kind of improvement on those, all those kind of developments there on the sketch line there, okay? The fox itself, okay? Suddenly the fox sitting around here. If you want to draw people actually sitting around like this there, right? This is maybe what I actually have in mind. Okay? Have in mind there. It's not that easy for you guys that you look like that. So you have to get more kind of, right, when you sketch, okay, I don't think that you sketch from your, this is what a lot of people makes mistakes there, right? When they draw something, they don't draw from the structures there. Can you see how actually I move my hands, how actually I draw this thing there, right? So what's she doing here right now, right? The fox, basically the characters sitting around here like this, right? Using this kind of movements that works. So you have to reimagine to develop the right kind of structures there before you're going to draw them. Because the way that you draw here, you just simply draw from what you think rather than you develop the right kind of structures there first. Okay, before you're going to add all this kind of, the tail also look a bit more flat there, right? It doesn't actually resembling the understanding how to develop those characters there. The basic structures is not there. This is what I actually always emphasize, right? Towards the fans know enough reference there, right? This one I don't know, right? Where basically this person actually sit down. Okay, what is this? This is a brick, or this is maybe a, I don't know. It's not that clear there, right? It's not that clear there, right? If you want to say this is basically a fence, right? You should actually show a bit more like this one there, right? For example. That's what I said, okay? When people draw some things, they don't provide enough kind of research. That's why they make a lot of mistakes. You want to draw anything, go get reference first. Don't rely on your imaginations. You cannot become me because I'm also use a lot of resources and reference there to draw. All right. Yes, Rina. What is it, Rina?
So is that we have 7 character designs. So we
Yeah.
have to include all the 7 characters in on storyboarding.
No need there, right? We just need at least emphasize only 2 characters in your stories. That's more than enough.
Okay.
Meaning maximum is 2. I don't want you to add a lot of characters. Then you cannot focus more on your design and your ideas developments that based on the stories. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Right. Take a look, guys. Okay. One of the good examples because how to draw hands. Right. Okay. At this stage, what are the things that you want me to demonstrate there? You guys can actually personal message me, right? Okay. With these kind of characters, I love this book of the Secret of Scales characters there, okay? Why? Because when they design these characters there, right? They design based all from the very strong shapes. I really doesn't agree when people say when they design those characters, they don't actually use shapes to design them. I remember that one of the characters there like design a sheep, not a sheep, but sheeps there, right? A goat there, right? If I want to design a goat, for example, there, I'm using a shape status. Mm, yeah, right? Shapes there. So these are going to be the legs. These are going to be the so-called hand. Okay. But you can see there, okay? I have a very strong kind of shapes based on this design. But this is only my sketch, not uh, my final kind of works there. So the eyes, see? actually design the shapes there. From the shapes, all right? So I can design more if I want to. Oops, too much. So the hands are going to be right here. These are going to be the leg. See how fun basically we can actually do a lot of things if you understand about the shapes of our design. Okay, this is only one example. There's a lot of things. I can do a lot from here. Okay, I can even also draw from Shaun the Sheep kind of shapes there, right? If you saw those Shaun the Sheeps, but I'm using my own way. Maybe I'm using this kind of style. Right? Yeah. Right? Shape with the attitude there. So if you learn, if you understand about your own kind of shapes there, why actually you design all this kind of line of actions there, okay? They will look balanced there. We not actually just draw the line, the structures out of nothing there. Even though I want to draw simple kind of shapes like this there, right? Okay? They will emphasize on the structures itself. It's not actually, we're not doing the things for nothing there. Looks simple, it looks like easy for me to work, but it's not that easy when I was first time doing it. But I practice and practice myself. All right, from my experience there. Okay, and to draw the shapes from here, very fat shapes. This is only a sketch, nothing serious like this. Before I'm going to refine them. So when you come to develop your ideas, have to be quick, learn to develop a quick kind of ideas there. And you see how many ideas I can get from a few minutes there, okay? So before I'm going to finalize them. So remember that, okay? So don't take for granted when it comes to develop your ideas. I'm talking about how you can get more ideas if you know how to sketch in the right way. Okay? All right, guys? Same goes when you want to come and draw, if you want to draw a props, okay? Design a prop for your characters there, okay? Okay, compositions, a very simple composition that you have bear in mind. A simple compositions. Foreground, it is the ground, right? Is a low horizontals kind of approach, not high horizontals there. You put your characters right here, right? This is a rough sketch there. This is a foreground. There's a grass over here, or leaves. Foreground. All right. And then you put it into the balance there, right here. And then at the background there, there has a tree, for example, here like this. There is a coconut tree, simplified them, and there's a mountain, for examples. Okay, these are going to be your ground, and these are going to be, okay, there's clouds, mountains, and this is your background, okay? You have very simple compositions there. Think of the very simple compositions there. Don't think of very complex compositions like this. All right? From here, you can do a lot of things there, okay? Because when you learn about compositions and arrangements, Right. There has a few kind of understanding that you have to understand this, but I give you guys very simple analogies there. Foregrounds, they emphasize a bit more like some of the objects like leaf, for example. Sometimes you can draw a rock there. There's a tree kind of log there, right here, from there, right here. And then the ground, you can put the tree, some buildings, right here, some houses there maybe there, right here, to emphasize on the scenery itself directly, and then the backgrounds you can draw another buildings, maybe some mountains, a very simple kind of composition there. Clouds, okay, because all these kind of elements you need to design as a designer. You need to design it as a designer. So learning the right kind of way of understanding the usage of shapes will help you to develop more kind of way of working, easy for you to develop your own environments, your landscapes, your environments, your layout, your composition for your character. Okay? Any questions? Any questions there, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, by the same times, all right, don't forget to do some revisions on other people's design or works they write. So for me, Pinterest is one of the good examples that we have nowadays. If you go to, okay, this is a good compositions there, right? Okay. Environments, even though some of the environment design that we saw from internet is quite detailed. Sometimes for those who cannot draw that, okay, they feel a little bit kind of out of the the, 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 the skill that they have there, okay. But if you take a look in different sites, as I actually have always uh, give the students kind of understanding there, okay. Our background design. I'm starting with very simple kind of reference that I also look into those ideas before. Okay, look at this composition. The same kind of standard kind of understanding that I show you guys just now. To design a very good compositions doesn't have to be a very good perspective. There has to be trick and tips there. Okay, one of the tips that I give you guys just now, three things only you have to think about. Foregrounds, what are the element foregrounds? Ground and the backgrounds that you want to put there. All right. Other than that, you can play around with it. All the composition from Powerpuff Girls, they use the same kind of what we call that techniques there. All right, standard technique, but they show a lot of very good kind of combinations. Of course, the color combination also being playing around. Okay, we will learn those color techniques later. Don't worry. Learn to compose well, and I'm still feel worried about your basically the way that you approach your understanding when you develop the sketch kind of technique, the sketch line, because I saw some people that actually have shown me the works, okay, even though this one, okay, they look a bit more like, you actually restrict yourself into the rulers and rules there, right? Even though I don't know where actually you get this kind of compositions, it looks nice for the scenery itself, but this kind of what we call that foregrounds kind of what we call that drawing styles, they look a bit off and look a little bit kind of what we call that not that kind of balance there. The aesthetical value is not there, right? So please check back again. You have saw how actually I execute those kind of compositions, and Powerpuff Girl is one of the best kind of stylized composition techniques. Even though you say, I love manga, I love anime very much, right? Don't be wannabe, and always realize your kind of level of skill that you have here. You want to draw like manga styles, you need to have a very good, proper kind of understanding on perspective there. That which we don't have that kind of privilege to work on that unless you want to spend more time to, because most of the anime styles or mangas that are based on the photographic style, okay? Based on the photographic compositions there. You have learned image manipulation before there, right? You've learned also how to manage to compose those things in the right way. So what you can do, you redraw back again. Remember about our lessons, our exercise before. Draw from the reference. You can capture more reference, all right, which you can draw back again those kind of backgrounds there. I don't know why actually people say I don't like draw manga there. Okay, take a look here. I'm using manga as a part of my reference there before this, right? But the problem is your design will not actually quite, your drawings also doesn't have the levels of manga, anime or mangaka kind of skills there. So if you can draw and sketch like this, exactly like this, then you can go for it there. Where is it? This is some of the reference that we have done before there. I don't know whether I actually draw all this kind of details here. I didn't actually draw all this detail, right? But if you can actually get those kind of reference and you redraw again and compose your characters into those backgrounds, go ahead. Oh, I hope you guys understand what I mean there, right? Using a reference and redraw back again, right, is one of the techniques you can use. Right? If you want to use a very detailed, kind of complex kind of understanding to draw those environment there, right? But make sure you can actually focus, because you need to understand one thing. You have 12 pages to complete. So if you can focus of your time to develop all those 7 different kind of backgrounds, 12 different kind of backgrounds to do those compositions, go ahead. I give you guys a very simple analogies there, techniques, simplify things, right? But to simplify things also, you don't underestimate them. It's not that easy there, right? My kind of simplifications of techniques is all based from, where is it? Here, there. My kind of simplifications kind of techniques were based on this environment styles. Where is it? Okay, this is one of it. All right, this is one of it. I'm using this one. I'm using AI, Adobe Illustrator there to design all this environment. You guys learned AI before there, right? But this one I'm sketch, a rough sketch, and I redesign and recreate the whole thing back again. Right? If you want to compare your works, what you can do with mine there, right? Okay? What else there? You can have here. And of course, I'm going to keep on continuing. Okay, this is one of the environments there, simplify environments there based on the character designs, right? Using Photoshop. This one is using Photoshop. Okay, see how actually I developed those 3, simplified them, right? But these kind of compositions, I really have a very rough sketch and I clean up the line back again. All right, those are techniques for digital illustrations, right? Digital illustrations there. So let me see that. Yes. So this is one of my simplification styles of works, right? All right. Okay. Using Photoshop there, okay? The very simplifications kind of styles there. Okay, from the alienate kind of planet there, right? Okay, with more touch of our Earth there, okay? KL towers, KLCCs, but using my own kind of interpretations there, okay? Different kind of environment styles and the alien kind of spaceship there. So you have to know your level of skill there. I'm give you guys an options to open up your mind to develop your kind of skills. Okay, like I said, to become a mangaka style artist, you need to have a very solid kind of skills, understanding on human figures. Draw hand also you will not actually quite know it well at the moment. Learn from time to time. We have a lot of lesson that we have been go through right now. All right, remember one thing, guys. Even though we have a phase of assignments, it doesn't mean I will not doing some light exercise. Okay, light exercise there. I mean, okay, for this week, I really want you guys to focus on developing your environments and your crops. Okay, and your previous exercise for last week. Okay, week 9, gestures line. Week 10, basically you have to redraw all those environment, all those elements using a sketch line there, right? And Rina, please go back into my demonstrations that I did last week to revise back again what basically you should do. Okay. Mm. Next week, even though you have to submit this kind of what we call that, assignments that based on your environment, the shapes for your characters kind of prop. Right. I will give you guys some extra exercise. I will show you guys. Okay, I bet on some of the coloring techniques. There, right. I'm quite sure that most of you guys have problem to draw human kind of anatomies. There, right. Like draw eyes in the right way, draw hands in the right way, draw nose in the right way, draw lips in the right way. There, right. So I will give you guys this kind of extra kind of exercise. Not just to torture you guys. I want to make sure that you guys understand how it's going to be worked. Okay. So the lesson should be continued. The exercise should be continued from time to time. Okay, guys. Don't take it for as a burden there. Take it as a part of the knowledge, kind of experience there. Don't do it for the assignments only, the marks there. If you just leave to doing for the marks, you won't be able to get anything from the lessons there. Because why? Because this is a time for you to develop as much skills as you can. Okay? Alright guys? Anything else?
Sir,
Yes.
so next week we have to submit this environment, right?
Yeah. Sorry, one thing. Thursdays, yes, environment there. Next week, you have to submit these assignments there. All right, 10 different props there, okay? I want to confirm you guys, okay? One more thing. This week we have a holiday.
On Thursday.
Thursday, right? But the class will be, I don't think that our class will be on as usual, right? Because I cannot get those attendance from here, our Muharram. Okay, so that means we have to do some replacement, right? Okay, what we can do, okay, our replacements, we actually add our replacement as same as the Saturday classes for group 2, 3, and 4. Just like a week before you join the Saturday session. Is it okay if you want to join? Because this replacement, I do not get any paid directly, but I just want to do it just for the sake. If anyone from your groups want to ask any questions, you guys can actually ask me on that day directly. Or maybe I can do some demonstrations like Saturdays and also on Wednesday later on, okay? Some demonstrations a bit more. All right. Normally, right, okay, when people actually keep that silence, they agree, right? Okay? So all this kind of things that, right? They agree with what I say there. Even though they don't agree, literally they actually agree that they can actually join that. Up to you guys, okay? It's your time, it's your knowledge, it's your skills there. Right. So all right guys. If you don't have any questions, okay, thank you very much, okay? And have a nice day. Good luck
Sir,
with your questions. Yeah.
last week we had a replacement class on Saturday,
Yeah.
and our attendance was marked as absent still.
What attendance there? Yours.
Last week's attendance for practical.
Saturday.
Well, my class was on Wednesday, but I think a lot of people's also marked absent.
Saturday. 15, right? Which group did you join?
Which group? The last group.
You actually from which groups?
First group, group one.
Group 1. 12, right? Your name?
Sarah, to you.
This one there, right?
Mm,
Yeah. I will take
for
your name, sir.
for practical.
For practical. This one there, right? 12 there. Because I have to, what we call that, using your previous kind of attendance there, okay, to tick your names, because your name are not going to be included on Saturday. So I'm going to go back into your previous kind of attendance. Sarah, right?
Yes.
Last week, right? 12?
Well, the absence, the date of absence is 10th August
10 August, okay, Monday lah. Monday
for
is
my
lecture
group.
class, right? Not practical class.
Oh,
This
was
one,
it?
right? Yeah. You also confuse that practical and lecture class. Can I see your
No,
face actually, right?
I didn't look clearly. Didn't see clearly.
Can I see your confused face there, right, Kira?
Yeah, sorry, sir.
All right, okay. All right, guys, okay, thank you very much there. Marissa, mic is unmute. Okay, it's not there, right? All right, anything else there? No? Hopefully you guys don't felt quite burdened with those exercises, because I would felt you need more. You need more from what you think that you thought that is enough already. Because when you look back in your skill developments there, right, you know basically you need more from there. So don't do it as a part of you just want to learn, to get the marks on it. If you bear yourself, binding yourself, just want to develop, to get those marks rather than to develop your skills, you're the one who actually going to lose yourself later on, right? Trust me on that. I don't want you guys to feel that way, all right? That's why I will give you guys as much as demonstration and also developments kind of exercise from time to time, okay? Because after week 14, our class is going to be stopped already. And I know that no one actually going to ask me any question that regarding to your skills. And you have to wait until next semesters. And of course, later on, you're not going to practice yourself, all right? The next semesters, if we actually are going to meet each other again, I don't know the right thing, you're going to find the same kind of challenge there. Because digital illustrations, we're going to start back again with using the tools and test your drawing skills, and then we're going to start with the caricatures, painting kind of styles there, using digital format like Photoshop, right? But we not actually emphasize more on detail this semester there. Black and white grayscales only there, okay? But maybe later on, the next weeks, I'm going to give you a bit kind of introductions how to paint using those colors there, combinations, right? Some of you guys who actually doesn't take serious on their developments will find a lot of loss there. That's why keep on practicing there, guys, okay? All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day, right? And good luck there, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.